Why, hello everybody, welcome to this Train Sim World 4 route suggestion. Today we are having a look at the New Jersey Transit, Morristown and Gladstone lines, which was suggested by Alpine Penguin. If you want to suggest any routes, I will have more information on that process at the end of the video. So stick around and I'll tell you how you can do that. So obviously NJT, it's an operator we already have, so there are most certainly not any licensing issues, and there's common rolling stock, so you know, Dovetail could cut corners. This is a route that could feasibly come to the game. Unlike some of the other route suggestions I've done, which are sort of just pipe dreams, this one stands a chance. So it's sort of interesting, I suppose, in that sense. This is a map of the Morris Essex line with the Gladstone branch. There is sort of an extra thing, if you can see, yeah. So I'm only suggesting the route from Dover, which is here, into New York Penn and Hoboken, and also the Gladstone branch. There's another line that comes down here, I believe, but I don't think that's really worth the effort. This seems to be where the bulk of the action is. And also, there's, you know, the two branches at one end and two branches at another, in varying service patterns and infrastructure and whatnot. I think this is the most interesting layout. So, the Morristown line, which is this top bit, obviously running through Morristown, and all the way out to Hackettstown, but beyond Dover is diesel only, so I'm only suggesting up to Dover, because that's where most services end. I should stop yapping. So Dover to New York Penn and Hoboken, that is 43 miles long, with 22 stations, and it is fully electrified at, what is it, like the crazy overheads? Is it 25 kilovolts, or is it 15 or 11 or something? I don't know, it's Amtrak have too many. And it's all double track, standard gauge, as everywhere else is on the busier NJT lines. Contrast that with the Gladstone branch. It is single track, runs from Summit down here to Gladstone, obviously. 22 miles long, so a bit shorter, but most of the trains continue into Hoboken or New York Penn. Some of them don't, but most of them do. There are 12 stations. It's fully electrified, and it is single track instead. And you can see there is Gladstone Station on the image there. So quite a different character to the Morristown, and especially Penn. You know, you leave Penn or Hoboken, bustling termini, and then you arrive here in some quaint little single track end of the line. And that's another thing why I like this section, is because we get a terminus. I'm a sucker for termini. You can do a full run from one terminus to another, Hoboken to Gladstone, which is good. You know, I like end-to-end routes. Rolling stock, the exciting bit. So for this route, trains that do run are the ALP 46, which we already have as a part of New York or NEC Trenton. They run the electric services, obviously, because they're electric only. Then there are the ALP 40, that's supposed to be a 45 DP, my proofreading skills coming into their own. That is the top right. They are electro-diesel locomotives. They look very similar to the ALP 46s, but they have a cab only at one end, and they have a diesel engine on board. These, I believe, exclusively run the diesel services west of Dover. And having this would allow us to have those services, a lot of which run express. So they'd start at Dover, they'd stop at Denville, and then run express, generally into Hoboken, not stopping anywhere else. Now, I'm not saying we have the Hackettstown branch, or the Hackettstown line, or the Morristown line to Hackettstown, but having that diesel loco would allow us to have, without some dodgy substitution of an ALP 46. Obviously, both of them run with multi-level coaches, but they also run with the Comet coaches, which you can see up here. Now, the ALP45DP can be layered onto Trenton, obviously, because it's an electric loco and whatnot. If not to run, I haven't actually checked if they run the Trenton services. I would expect they do. I think I read at one point that they do. But even if they don't, they can still layer into New York Penn and around Secaucus Junction. The Comets most certainly can be layered onto NEC Trenton as well, as can the Arrow 3 MUs. Arrow 3s I think, predominantly run the Gladstone branch, although the other two can be seen on there. And they would be very cool to have on NEC Trenton, especially the what is it? The Dinky. Its proper name I've forgotten, but the Dinky, the little spur off the NEC. And also, I think they do run NEC. I know, because I've been on an Arrow 3 from Newark Airport to Newark Penn. So they definitely do run on NEC Trenton services, so that they could also layer on. So all of these stock would work very well on this route, and also would work well on other routes. So that's more of an incentive for this to happen. And finally, the timetable. Timetable is all over the place. There's no real clear pattern. I desperately tried to find one, but it's a shocker. It's all over the place. To and from Dover, it's sort of half-hourly. There are some additional express slots. There are some sort of missing services that subtract from that half-hourly, but generally speaking, very generally speaking, it's half-hourly. And runs from Dover into really either of the New York termini are about 1 hour and 15 minutes. Gladstone has 22 daily trains, which make it roughly hourly during the period when the trains run, and it takes about an hour and a half to get from Gladstone to New York. And I believe it takes the best part of an hour to get from Gladstone to Summit. And some of the Gladstone trains terminate at Summit, so only doing the Gladstone branch. But there are also additional trains from Summit to New York. And in the background, you're looking at Hoboken Terminal, which is a very funky station, because you can see we've got platforms here. And then there are additional underground path platforms. But as well, there are all of these ferry berths, so you can just walk off a train. This station is in New Jersey. New York is sort of off to the side, on the other side of the Hudson, and you just step off a train and get onto a ferry and cross into Manhattan, which I think is a pretty cool commute. Obviously, not as cool as in Sydney. But yeah, it's certainly interesting, an interesting setup. So that is the Morristown Gladstone lines. I don't really know how you would call them, because it's Morris Essex, Morris Gladstone. I don't know, but that's what it is. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like me to make a video on a route that you think would be good in Train Sim World 4, then hop onto my Discord server, link in the description. On there I have a channel called Submit Ideas. Pop your route in there, give me any or as much additional information as you need, or as you can provide, because that certainly makes my job a heck of a lot easier. And if I like it, I'll make a video on it. All of my route suggestions are suggestions that people have given me, and yours could be next. So if you've got a good one, let me know in my Discord server, link in the description, and I will make it. That said, thank you all so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.